Hey, what's up, guys? We're going to be getting started in about the next about 12 minutes. So once it hits 8 o'clock, we're going to go on ahead and get started. While you guys are here, go on ahead and let me know if you got any goals that you're trying to accomplish. Are you trying to lose weight? Are you trying to gain weight? Are you trying to build muscle? Go on ahead and let me know so that way I have some things to get started with. If not, I'm going ahead and just kind of share some things about myself when we get started. All right, guys, we got a couple more minutes before we get started with the live stream. If you guys are in the chat, go on ahead and let me know that you're here. Say, hey, what's up? And if you have any questions concerning weight loss, weight gain, muscle building, meal plans, go on ahead and drop them in the chat for me. All right, so it is 8 p.m. We're going to go on ahead and get started with the stream. I'm going to go on ahead and turn my camera on. Make sure the music isn't too loud. There we go. All right, you guys should be able to see me. I wanted to make sure you guys have everything that you need with this stream. Welcome to the stream. My name is Coach Chris, and I just hope that this stream is very helpful for each and every one of you that's out there. If you're watching, go on ahead and just drop something in the chat. Say, hey, what's up? Let me know where you're coming from. Today, I'm just going to be talking about a handful of topics, like just a couple of things. Especially one of the things I want to focus on today is going to really just be what my journey looked like when I lost about 60 pounds and what I had to go through with that. Mind you, I lost weight like 3 times. I've gone through this at least 3 times, and that was a journey. That whole thing was just a lot. It was a lot for me to go through and to deal with the amount of stuff that I had to deal with on my own, right? Learning and just growing through a lot of those challenges was just something I had to figure out along the way. So that's what a lot of this live stream is going to be today. Like I said, there's going to be moments for me to answer questions. Like if you guys have questions right now, the best thing you can do is just throw them straight in the chat while I'm talking. What I'll do is in between, I'll stop. I'll take some moments to just answer those questions or give you some insight, probably try to draw up a game plan for you, and then just go from there. But for the most part, the only thing we want to do today is we want to just chat. Like I just want to chat with you guys and just, relay what my experience has been when it came to just getting on more of a healthy journey, and a journey that I'm proud of, a journey that I'm happy about. I'm happy to say I got the level of success that I was looking for, right? And that's what I want to do today. So without any further ado, what I would like to do is just extend the invitation. If you're here in the chat, go on ahead and let me know that you're here. Say hey, say what's up. And I just want to be able to greet you guys. We'll give it a couple minutes to give some people some time to get in. I'm going to just be hanging out and just chatting with you guys. Make sure I got my topics here. So that way we can just kind of discuss some of this stuff. And what you'll learn is, you'll learn that my experience with weight loss probably is a lot of other people's experience too. The same thing that happens to me or happened to me is the same thing that's more than likely happened to a lot of you guys when you was going through your own journey. Like it's not easy, it's definitely not for the faint of heart, because there's so much that you learn in this journey when you're trying to be just healthier, when you're trying to figure out that information, when you're trying to learn and educate yourself. It's a lot that you got to learn, right? So without further ado, what I'm going to go on ahead and do is I'm going to go on ahead and get started with just what my weight loss journey looked like. Now, from there, I'm going to just kind of start with a story. I was roughly about 18, 19 years old. And when I was in high school, I was definitely a lighter guy. I was a smaller guy. I probably weighed about 170, 180 at my heaviest when I was in high school. Very active, right? I played soccer. I was in marching band where we had to march in parades and we had to play at the games and do the halftime shows. I did a lot. I was very active, right? And then coming off of that and going into college, because in high school I ate whatever I wanted to. I didn't really have any sense of awareness on the type of foods I was eating when I was in high school. And because I was so active, I didn't really feel any of the ill effects of the nutrition I was consuming. A lot of that was ramen noodles, hot dogs, just all the unhealthy stuff, honey buns, a lot of unhealthy stuff that just wasn't good for me. But like I said, I was active, so it didn't faze me in the least bit. But when I got into college, I went through a very emotional breakup, and that set the course for how I then defined my relationship with food. My relationship with food became a very difficult one, right? And what I mean by that is I started leaning into food to make me feel better. When I was sad, when I was mad, when I was upset, when I was excited, all of my emotions always led back to eating food. Whether it was me going out to celebrate with friends or celebrating by myself, or if I didn't feel good about a situation, I would just eat. And that laid the groundwork for me to gain almost 50 pounds within my freshman, sophomore year of college. I looked completely different from what I looked like before, right? Big gut, as you know, chest wasn't deformed. It just wasn't, I didn't look very appetizing. For me, I didn't look very appetizing. And I gained a lot of that weight and I didn't know what to do with it. I had no clue how I was going to lose this weight. I looked at everything. I tried a bunch of stuff. And it wasn't until I had got into another relationship. And in that relationship, she said something that was cute, but I didn't take it that way. I didn't take it as being cute. I took it as, no, she didn't just say that. So we was at a Subway. We was grabbing something to eat. And she was like, we saw a reflection of ourselves. And she saw me, and you know, when you see yourself with the person you're with, sometimes y'all hug each other. And she hugged me, and she was like, my big old monster. And I didn't like that at all. I did not like that comment for nothing. Did not like that comment. And because she made that comment, I made the decision that I was going to lose that weight. At all costs, I was going to lose that weight. She will never call me big old monster again. I don't care if it was cute. It did not sit well with me. Did not sit well with me. And if you're just now joining, let me know that you're here. If you got any weight loss goals, because right now I'm just talking about my journey of going through this whole learning health, getting healthier. But if you're in the chat, go on ahead and let me know that you're here. Say hey, say what's up. And if you got any goals that you have for yourself, if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to gain weight, if you're trying to build muscle, drop them in the chat so I know, so we can talk a little bit more about it. If you don't have any, I'm going to continue telling my story of how I lost weight and what I had to go through to get there, right? So continue with the story. The initiator, the catalyst that made me want to lose this weight was the fact that the girl I was with at the time called me her big old monster in a cute way, but I didn't like it. I did not like that she called me a monster. And I was like, you know what? I'm losing this weight. And for the next 2 to 3 months, I had probably dropped about 40 pounds. And the way I did that was for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, I ate like a rabbit. Like for breakfast, I ate a bowl of cucumbers. For lunch, I ate a bowl of broccoli. And for dinner, because I was in college at the time, I ate whatever they had on the vegan meal for Claflin University's lunch or dinner at their cafeteria. I ate that, and as you can imagine, by barely eating any of these foods, I lost a lot of weight. Oh my goodness, 40 pound plus. I dropped significant weight. It was so fast. People was asking me, yo, what are you doing? Like, you're losing weight fast. You look completely different from how you looked 2 months ago. And 40 pounds in 2 months is a tremendous amount of weight to lose. Mind you, that you shouldn't be losing that much weight, right? And if I was looking at it in hindsight, I would have preferred to use a different method of losing that weight. I would have preferred to use a different method because although I lost the weight, I didn't really look any better, right? The stomach was gone. right? The stomach was gone, but I didn't build any muscle definition, right? So by going through my weight loss journey and losing 40 pounds the first time I did it, I didn't really gain much from that. Didn't really gain much from that. And like I said, if you're in the chat right now and you have any questions along the lines of health, meal plans, if you have any goals, put them in the chat. Let me know what your goals are. Because right now, all I'm going to do is just talk about what my weight loss journey has been like. So if you're in the chat, just drop a goal, drop a challenge that you might be dealing with. So that way we can chat about how can we get you towards your goals. And in this story, you're going to learn some of the things I had to learn while I was going on my weight loss journey, on my healthy lifestyle transition, some of the things I had to go through, right? So like I said, when I was at Claflin University, I lost about 40 pounds in like 2 months, right? And mind you, what I learned was that although I lost that weight, I gained all of that right back, all of it right back. And it was because I didn't make lifestyle changes, right? All I did was I made temporary changes to get the weight off, but I never took care of the underlying issue. The underlying issue was I had an emotional attachment with food that needed to be dealt with, right? I didn't know this at the time. Did not know this at the time. When I lost the 40 pounds, I thought I was good. I was like, yeah, it's gone, right? I can go back to doing what I was doing, which was what? Emotionally eating burgers, fries, Burger King. I used to eat double Whoppers twice a day. Large meal double Whopper at Burger King twice a day. That used to be what I ate when I moved from Claflin to North Carolina. And as you can imagine, I gained a lot of that weight back, right? So I went back up to about 240, 250-ish, and I needed to lose that weight again, right? So what did I do this time, right? Because I lost weight 3 times. 3 times. And in losing the weight the second time, I probably got down to about 202, 201, right? And I didn't really have much of a catalyst. I was just like, I want to look better. I just want to look better. I'm tired of being this big guy. I just want to look better. So I started doing stuff like water fasts, right? 7-day water fast, 14-day water fast, keto diet. I started using that. And man, I lost the weight, but it sucked though. And the entire time I was losing that weight, it sucked completely. And I didn't really enjoy much of it at all, considering that I had to eat eggs, I had to eat spinach, like it was the whole keto thing with just only fat and veggies. I didn't enjoy much of that food at all. It was not good to me. It did not feel good during, especially with the water fast. With the water fast, you go through so much on the water fast. You go through, your body trying to make the transition from using ketones as energy instead of carbs. And because of that, you might get like major headaches, right? You might get major headaches. You might get, your tongue starts to feel like weird. Your tongue tastes weird, very metallic. It's a lot of stuff you go through. Now, one of the cool things about it was that I didn't need a lot of sleep, right? Did not need a lot of sleep. I probably only slept for like 4 to 5 hours during that time. But when I lost that weight the second time, I used keto, water fast, and was barely eating and going to the gym, killing myself in the gym, right? Just trying to get this weight off. I even hired a personal trainer to help me, and I did not really get much out of that. Did not get much out of having the personal trainer. So here I am, second time I lost the weight. And as you can imagine, once again, I did not take care of what needed to be taken care of to achieve the goals that I want to achieve, right? I did not take care of the thing that was going to prevent me from going back up in weight, right? Losing weight 3 times, and that second time I did not take care of it. I just didn't. So as you can imagine, once COVID hit, COVID came up, and now everybody's working from home. We can't go nowhere. I'm now working from home, and I'm like, I'm using, excuse me, I'm using Uber Eats now. I'm using Uber Eats like every day, every other day. I'm getting Taco Bell, I'm getting Wendy's, I'm getting McDonald's. I literally had it set up to the point where I could just hit a button on my phone and it knew to make the order. Man, COVID made it so easy to gain weight. And this was for a lot of people. You talking about the whole world shutting down and people losing access to being mobile, right? Being active. Now you had to stay in the house. And the only people that was actually able to be out was the people who were delivering or who had mandatory jobs. So, as you can imagine, COVID took an emotional toll on a lot of people. And I was one of them. So what do you think happened? I gained all of that weight back and more. Gained a lot of that weight back and more. And it was difficult. It was very difficult. Mind you, the person I was with at the first time that I lost weight was the same person I was with at the third time. Right? So she saw this, losing weight the first time, gaining it back, losing weight the second time and gaining it back. She saw that up and down. And it was a lot. It was a lot to see that. It was a lot to go through. It was a lot to deal with. The fact that it felt like I would never get small again. Like I would never get back to my high school weight. I had this feeling that if I don't lose this weight, I'm just gonna always be this way. And I was just gonna give up on it. That's the point I got to. That's the point I got to. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. I was completely confused. I was completely just no motivation, no aspiration, no inspiration, no nothing. I fell into a very emotional, dark place for myself. And the only thing that got me out of that place was one, excuse me. What I ended up doing was, one, I went to therapy. And she helped me understand my relationship with food. That was the first thing. So in having that understanding of what my relationship was with food, that helped to shed light on being aware, right? So now we're going to start getting into what were the things I was becoming aware of, right? Like what was I really becoming aware of? I was becoming aware of when I would have those feelings to eat something, when I would feel anxious about something, or when I would feel emotionally like charged to do something, and the actions that I took as a result of that. Right? So being that I started becoming aware of it because of the therapist that I used, her name was Dr. Lundy, phenomenal therapist. And after I started becoming aware, I started paying closer attention to my foods. And then the very next thing that I did is what I believe changed my course of my lifestyle from that day. What I saw was I used to go to this gym, Planet Fitness. I was in Alexandria, I believe. Alexandria, Virginia. And I saw this group of people come in. And they were all bodybuilders. Jacked. The women was jacked. The coach was jacked. Everybody was just big. And I was like, yo, how do I get there? Like, what do I got to do to get there? What is it going to take for me to get the results that those people have? And I didn't know. I didn't know what the results would be. But what I did do was I went and spoke to the coach. I said, you know what? Hey, man, who are you? Right? I asked him, I said, who are you? And he told me who he was. His name was Frank Turner. And Frank Turner is currently still a coach by helping bodybuilders to get their pro card and just training a lot of athletes. And I asked him, I was like, yo, what do I got to do? How do I sign up with you? And he, gave me his information, told me what the price would look like. And I told him, bet, I'll let you know when I'm ready. So I went and tried to do my own thing for a time. And it just wasn't working. It just wasn't working. at all. It just was not working. And I decided, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just call this dude and we're gonna work together. So I called him up, paid whatever was necessary to get started, and I started working out with a group of bodybuilders. Right? Started working out with a group of bodybuilders. And these people were crazy. Oh my goodness. They could lift heavy. They could go in at the gym. They were killing themselves at the gym. And I had to pick up the pace and keep up with them, because I'm competitive also. So I want to make sure wherever I'm at, I want to make sure I'm slowly reaching my way to the top of that. So while I was with the team, I learned how to really train my body. I learned how to really set myself up, how to really push at the gym. Chest days, crazy. Leg days, ridiculous. I was walking out of the gym like Bambi, killing myself with this group of people who were doing the same thing. And I learned something in that, right? The first thing I learned as it relates to just my health goal, my health journey, was that there is so much power in being around people who want the same thing that you want. That is so powerful. It is so powerful, because you have these people that are going to push you. You have these people that are going to inform you. They're going to educate you, especially if they're the ones who they're easy to open up to, right? If you're doing your best, to get the goals that you're trying to achieve, these people were going to always have your back. So I learned having that support group, especially people that are doing it with you. They're not just a support group of people where they're at home, they're not doing it, they're not working out, they don't have the same goals, they're just telling you what they heard somebody else say. That's a different type of support. The support I'm talking about is the people who are in it with you. And that's why it's so important for people to have a support system or a community of people that are doing the same thing that they're doing. That is so important. And people miss out on that. You miss out if you're trying, and that goes with anything. If you're trying to make more money, you got to be around people who's making more money. If you're trying to lose weight, you got to be around people who's trying to lose weight. If you want to get jacked as a guy, you want to build muscle, you got to be around guys who are bigger than you. They got to be better than you so they can push you. And that's what I ended up learning when I was with this bodybuilding team, is that if it hadn't been for me paying what was necessary to be with this team, I would not have gained the amount of progress that I did. Right? Having the coach there to help me understand what it is that I'm doing, having him provide me with what foods I needed to consume, and then also taking the time to educate myself on the foods that I was consuming and why it was important that I consume these foods. I learned a formula that made sense for me. And that's what a lot of people are missing. It's a formula that makes sense for them. A lot of people are trying to follow a cookie cutter plan that's not going to work for you. It's got to work for you. Keto's not the way. Veganism, vegetarianism, all that stuff is not the way. It's the way that makes sense to you. I don't give up cookies. I don't give up alcohol. I don't give up burgers, fries. I don't give up any of that stuff because I like it. Right? I love those foods. But because I'm smart about how I consume my foods, I don't gain weight. I've now been maintaining my size, the size I am now, for way longer than I've maintained this size. Losing 60 pounds and then keeping it off, oh my goodness, it's a blessing. Because I enjoy the foods that I like. I enjoy the lifestyle. I enjoy being around people who have the same goals that I do. Right? So if you have goals, right? If you got goals, you got health goals, and you're not around people that's going to support you. And I don't mean, like I said, I'm not talking to support where they just talk to you. They just tell you what they've seen someone else do. I'm talking to support where they're in it with you. They're in it to win it just like you are. That's support. Because the same thing you're going through is the same thing they're going through. And the things that they can help you on, they'll help you. And the things you can help them on, you'll help them. Right? So you got to remember, you got to remember that support is going to be the biggest thing that you could do. Support is going to be the biggest thing that you can have for yourself to get that goal, right? And if you're in the chat, let me know. Say, hey, what's up? If you got any questions about what you're trying to do, how you're trying to do it, if you got goals that you're trying to accomplish, whether that be weight loss, muscle gain, weight gain, throw it in the chat. Let me know so we can talk about it. This is your opportunity to speak with somebody who's a certified fitness and nutrition coach to get the goals or achieve the goals that you wish to achieve. That being said, I'm going to finish up here with just my journey, right? After going through that with the bodybuilding team, I then ended up leaving because I relocated and my job changed. So I relocated and I couldn't be with the team no more. So I still had some more weight left on me. I think I was 220. So I lost roughly about 40 pounds with the team. And I had 20 more pounds to go. All right, 20 more pounds. I tried some things here and there. Didn't really work out. Right? But if I hadn't have taken the time to really investigate myself, like internally, what do I like as far as foods? What do I like as far as like working out? Like I love basketball, right? Love basketball. Basketball is probably the most exciting thing I can do for cardio. Like I do incline treadmill, but cardio, I love doing my cardio, right? With basketball. I can just do that for hours at a time. But I had to figure out things about myself. I had to figure out, what do I like? What do I like doing? What is something I can continually do without getting bored? Do I got to switch it up? Do I got to find this one staple? What are foods that I like? What are foods that make sense to my goals? Right? I needed to make it clear to myself what was going to make the most sense for me. 1 second, guys. I'm going to change the music here. There you go. Make sure the music is the one I want. But I wanted to change the music real quick because I want to make sure it's copyright free. We don't want to get a DMCA mark, whatever they call that, where they mute your audio. But I had to learn myself, right? Had to learn myself. And it was through learning myself that I slowly began prepping foods and putting together a meal plan, putting together a workout plan that make sense. So I started consuming fish, salmon, ground beef, chicken. These were my proteins. Carbs, it was sweet potato, air fried, because I don't like regular sweet potatoes. Air fried sweet potatoes. I still consumed rice. I still consumed bread. I found some Kodiak pancakes that taste amazing, phenomenal. And I loved it, right? I loved it. I started putting together a plan that made sense. For breakfast, Kodiak pancakes, eggs, and sausage. I could consume that without a problem, right? For lunch, it was something like chicken, sweet potato fries, and a veggie, right? And then I had to make sure I also learned how to deal with my sweet tooth. I have a very strong sweet tooth. I love sugars, right? And I had to make sure that if I was going to try to keep sweets in my diet, how was I going to do that? So I picked a day, Sunday. Sunday is my cookie day. That is the day I designate for myself to consume cookies. I love cookies, and cookies is the way to my heart. So I pick a day that made sense, Sunday, and I ate my cookies then. And then throughout the week, I still have a sweet tooth, right? So instead of me consuming like juice or consuming like sodas, I consumed 0-calorie flavored drinks, right? I would get like the little Kool-Aid thing that's 0 calories and 0 sugar, and I put it in my water, and it would help me keep my sugar, my sweet tooth at bay. It would keep it at bay. And then also at night, I had a bad habit of always wanting to go to sleep on like a full stomach. No idea why. I don't know where I get that from. It must have been something I carried with me in childhood. But I decided I was going to drink non-caffeinated, zero sugar diet soda. And the reason why is because it made me feel full, but it was 0 calories. It was the only thing that made sense. It was the only thing that made sense. So I had to do that. I had no choice but to do something like that to keep me going, right? And in doing that, I was finally able to see the results of my success, see the results of my work, see the results of what I've been trying to do this entire time, which is really just lose the weight. Lose the weight. And that's how I ended up losing 60 plus pounds, right? That's how I did that. So thus, I'm telling you guys this story because I want you to understand losing weight is just not, it's not easy. It's just not easy. There's so much you got to go through. There's so much you got to learn about yourself. And there's so much that you have to put together as a foundation to make it make sense. Like you gotta have your emotional health in check. That's the foundation, right? And then you have to have a game plan for yourself. You got to be active. You got to eat in a caloric deficit. You got to have your meal planned. Meal prepping is so important in all of this. But without that emotional foundation, oh man, you're just gonna go up and down. The whole time, you're just gonna go up and down. And it's very difficult to keep up with. You're gonna see your weight do this. Why? Because you're gonna binge eat, or you're going to restrict yourself so much that you do binge eat, or you're going to emotionally eat. And those can take a toll, especially if you emotionally drink. That's even worse. So I wanted to take this time today. Today's stream won't be as long. I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of what my journey was and how did I see success, right? How did I get to the end of the road by losing 60 pounds and going through everything that I went through? And I'm grateful for it because now I know I'm never going to gain weight again. That's not happening again because I know what it takes to keep it off. I also know the knowledge and information necessary to lose the weight again, and I know what works for me, which is what I'm currently doing. I still got roughly about 20-30 more pounds to go, and I'm using what I did before to continue down that path. So if you guys, like I said, if you got questions, this stream is solely purpose to help answer questions, to share stories, to provide a level of insight that allows for you guys to get what you need to see the success that you want. That's all this is. I have clients now who are seeing success, and what I'm going to do probably in the future streams is have people come on, some of my clients, to just talk about their experience, talk about what they've gone through, talk about what they've done or what they've been doing, so that way you guys can kind of see what it is that I'm teaching my clients and why are my clients seeing success, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. This wasn't going to be a long one. It was really just planned out to kind of tell you what my story was, and hopefully this story inspires somebody to get the results that they want. I hope that this stream has been informative to you. Like I said, if you guys got any questions for me, anything about health, anything about weight loss, anything about weight gain or muscle building, reach out. There's a form that I have on my link in the bio of my Facebook profile. Check it out, and then we can go from there. I will do my very best to just provide you guys with the information necessary to get you the success that you want. But other than that, that has been the stream, guys, and I hope you guys have a good night. Thanks for coming out.